it's me, Nessa. So before I go on with the video, I will address that you will still hear that stupid alarm, and you will hear other unnecessary sounds around the house just because my phone likes to pick everything. So I apologize. I'm still working on fixing that, but I still haven't done that. So let's go on with the video. Okay, so this is just technically gonna be a little story time about what happened. Um, back when I was probably still in high school, and I apologize for looking like a mess. I haven't had time. I just don't want to. Anyways, um, at this time, I believe it was probably 2013, probably 2012. I don't quite remember too much, but my parents decided to split up just because things weren't working, and you know they didn't like officially like talk about it. They were arguing all the time, and so my dad was just so mad. He decided to cut the electricity off, and so we had nothing. We didn't have TV. We didn't have no light. We had no heater. We had no air conditioner. But thankfully, at the time, it was around winter, but still it was freezing cold. And so neighbors who lived behind us, they let us, they lent us like a little electricity. So he gave us like a little cord from his house to our house, and gave us a little light just to charge our phones. Um, just have an extra lighting besides using little candles. And yeah, I mean that's how it was for like a month or so. We were like this for a very long time, just because we couldn't afford a new house, we couldn't afford a new apartment. We just didn't have the sufficient amount of money, to get us through. And I remember this clearly. This was nearly on Christmas Day, or yeah, it was like, I believe it was the 25th. I remember my mom, we couldn't cook just because our stove was made out of electricity, I believe. Like, you had to connect it and whatnot. We didn't have anything like that. So, all we really had was milk with a fucking bread, or, those Mexican sweetbreads, as they call it, I guess. That's all we had for Christmas Day, and it's really depressing, I know, but, that happened, and then a few days went on. It was New Year's Eve, and I remember when it was around, we got home around like 8, maybe 9 at night, and I told my mom, hey, I'll be right back. I'm actually going to take a shower, so I'm going to take the little lamp that the neighbors lend us. So when I finally took a shower, and when I was getting ready to get dressed, I had the little lamp that they let us borrow, like hanging from the door, because it had like a little hook to put a little secure on it, just an extra, I guess. I don't know why I had that. And sorry, for some reason, every time I make a video, I attempt to burp for some reason. Sorry. So the door was like a little open. If I would have to estimate how big it was, like probably this, like much of open. It was thick, the cord, so it was like probably this much open. And I remember it was just lighting just the inside, but like not a lot, but it was still enough to see what I was doing and whatnot. So as I was changing, I was looking down, and when I looked down, I saw this really clear image, and like a little light. It wasn't even lit. It was freaking a big light. It was lighting everything. I swear to God, and I swear I'm not making this up. People think that I make things up, but I am not making this up. This actually happened. There was like feet. 2 feet. They were really pale white, and it seemed like they were wearing a nightgown. And I'm assuming it was a little girl, just because it just seemed like it would be a girl. I couldn't see the upper half just because, like I said, it was this much open that you could barely even see anything. But I was still able to kind of, but I was still able to look at the bottom of the crack where it, you know, it was like a white, pale feet with like a long nightgown and really, really bright. And it seemed like it was heading towards, like where the laundry room is at. So that's where she was heading, or the light was heading. And so I immediately screamed for my mom, and she was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I told her, like, I saw a light, and it had the person or whoever it was, I saw 2 feet, and it was wearing like it seemed like a long white nightgown. I'm like, I assume it was a little girl just because the size of her feet were kind of like small, but yet not too big. It was like probably if she was like probably 9 or 10 years old, I'm assuming. And I was telling her, like, I saw 2 feet. It was really bright, really white. I don't know. It seemed like a little girl. And my mom said, oh, don't worry. It's nothing. It's, just a typical parent, It's nothing. It's nothing. You'll be fine. And so, time went by after that. I haven't seen that ever happen. And, we finally found a place to live. And honestly, I'm going to be honest. Where we lived, it was too small. We could barely fit. My bed was too big. At this moment, I have a new bed, so it's not the bed that we used. It was a really small area. Like, the bathroom was really small. The kitchen was small. The bedroom where, it was too small. We barely fit. Like, we can't even fit anything in there. If I had to say it, it was like almost the size of my room, but just a tiny bit bigger. And my room is small. And I'm not going to show you because it looks like shit. And so, that happened, and we started to unpack our stuff to our new little studio that we were living in. And my mom later on told me, remember how you told me you saw a white figure? You just saw her feet, and it was wearing a long nightgown. And I'm like, yeah, I remember that. Why are you bringing this up now? And she was like, well, the reason I'm bringing this up now, I didn't want to tell you back home because I knew you were going to get scared. But I actually saw what you saw, but this time I saw her more clear. I saw her. She was a little girl. She was wearing like a nightgown, but she was standing in the kitchen. And I'm like, wait, what? And she's like, yeah, in the middle of the kitchen, just standing there like nothing. Just standing and looking at me. So when I looked down and looked back up, she was gone. And I'm like, why didn't you tell me? Like, you should have told me. I wasn't going to freak out. I just freaked out because I was like, okay, what the fuck? Like, I thought it was my mom for some reason at first, but then I'm like, why would my mom be so pale at her feet and wearing a nightgown? It's like so cold outside. Why would she be wearing that? And so my mom, after she gave me that little talk, time went by, and we were living on a new studio. We were unpacking. Actually, we were done unpacking. It didn't take us that long just because we only have like a small amount of stuff with us, just because, like I said, where we lived was really, really small, and we didn't have a lot of space to be in. Just we couldn't even afford it, and the rent honestly was fucking expensive for a tiny ass room. And so time went by, and days went by. I think a week went by, and I clearly remember, I believe my mom wasn't home that night. I think she left somewhere just because I didn't want to go. And so I said, oh, you can just go by yourself. I just don't want to go just because I don't want to. I don't feel good. And she's like, yeah, okay. So she left, and it was around like 7 or 8, and it got really dark really quickly. And I remember clearly that my mom got home, and so she opens the door. She's like, come help me really quick. Let me just bring the stuff in. She had stuff with her, so she had already bought some of the stuff, and so I'm like, yeah, okay, let me just get my shoes. I'll meet you there. So she leaves to get some of the other items that she bought. And as I was putting my shoes, I was facing out like at the door. I clearly remember having to see a shadow, a really bright shadow. Like, seemed like they were walking out. Like, walking out of the door. And so I'm just like, wait, Mom? And no one really answered. I'm like, what? I'm like, Mom. She didn't answer. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I was like, wait, that can't be my mom. She's outside. And I'm like, okay. So I walked back out to, help her get the groceries. And I asked her, I'm like, were you just there? Did you just walk out of the house? And she was like, no. I've been here for like 2 minutes. What do you mean? I'm like, I just saw someone walking out of the door. She's like, no, it wasn't me. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm like, it was bright again. Like, I saw the bright light. Someone walking, but I'm not sure what that was. And I don't know. And she's like, well, it could be nothing. It's nothing again. You're just probably seeing things. And, ever since we moved back, ever since we moved to the little studio, it was that one time that I saw her personally, and until this day, I really don't know what that was. I don't know if she was good, but I'm assuming she was good just because she was bright. But then again, I really can't assume anything, so who knows? I know. Yeah, so thank you guys for watching and listening.
Jesus Christ.
Listening. I know I'm moving the camera a lot just because, like I said, I'm using my phone and so on. But yeah, if my voice sounds like it's raspy, I'm getting sick, so I apologize. I will be making more. I did it today because I'm alone. There's not a lot of noise because my parents would be yelling and laughing out in the living room, and you can still hear it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I hope you guys have a great day today. Excuse my little ugly ass look just because I've been lazy. So yes, hope you guys enjoy this, and yeah, have a great day.